All right. What's up, guys? So, as you've seen from the title of this video on the thumbnail, man, this is, I honestly don't even know at this point what the title of the video is going to be, but it's, it's going to be complicated because this game is weird, man. Like, it's so complicated to me, man. The best way to put it is that it's like, not it's definitely not mid. It's pretty fun, but well, I don't know, because I play with my bros. Anything is fun if you play with your bros, but like, it's like a good game, but I don't know. I get it's like the lowest good, you know? It's not great, but it's good. But I could definitely see it being boring in single player, even though it's not bad. It's definitely not a bad game. Writing wise, that's on you. You decide that, but because I'm not good at critiquing that type of thing, but it's definitely not bad. It's tough, man. I'll try to get into it right now and explain it to you. First things first, I love Dead Island 1. Haven't beaten it yet, but just to let you know, I love Dead Island 1. Second, we'll just go by the usual metric I'm going by. I probably used metric wrong for sure. No, I definitely did. But to put it simply, I'm gonna go with graphics, right? The story is a whole different beast, man. I don't even know if I'm gonna get through it all, but I'm gonna go with graphics. The game looked pretty goddamn good. There's really not a lot I can say. It looks pretty goddamn good. You know, it looks beautiful at many points in time, and yeah, everything looks good. The art style is nice. Everybody looks good. That's you know, I can't really get too deep into it. That's really all I can say. You know, it's nothing crazy, but it's pretty good. It looks good to the eye. You know, I'd say part of the graphics is definitely like the zombie gore. Oof, that shit is crazy, man. There's some craziness with the gore with the zombies. My favorite being some of the kills my favorite kill actually being the one where if you use like brass knuckles or any, you know, knuckle type weaponry, you just like put your fist right through the face, bro. It's gnarly, man. It's in a really good way. It's not super gory, but it's, you know, it's got a decent amount of gore, you know, for slaying zombies and whatnot. So yeah, it's pretty damn good. Next thing I would say is the music. It's really forgettable, to be honest. I can't think of a single track throughout the game. You know, the only good music, or the only memorable music, even in the first game, is, you know, the hoodoo you voodoo bitch, and that's pretty much it. Which, you know, funnily enough, that's one of the characters in this game. The guy who sang that or rapped that's one of the characters in this game, so that's pretty cool. But funnier is I didn't actually know that I didn't even know who he was in the game until the end, when he talks to one of the characters, like Patton, I think. Yeah, he talks to Patton, and you know, he's like, hey, it's me. You know, he says his name, and then Patton's like, huh? And he's like, you know, hoodoo you voodoo bitch. And that's when I realized that, and my brothers made fun of me, like, and they laughed at me really hard and stuff. And they called me stupid, but you know, that's fair, because I didn't know it was him the whole time. But to be fair, I just didn't pay attention that much in the first game, okay? I didn't care about the story in the first game. I was just out there whooping zombies, pretty much. Mostly getting whooped, to be honest. But yeah, it was pretty fun. I mean, that's the music is whatever, really. Like, it wasn't bad music, just not memorable, I would say. Just not memorable, you know. Next thing to move on to, I'll get into the world before I get into the gameplay. The world is, you know, basically, instead of like an island, you're in all of LA. LA, that sounds so weird. You're in all of LA. And yeah, that's pretty much what it is. The zombie outbreak happens in LA, and you just gotta escape. And they do this really annoying thing where they just keep calling it LA. Especially my character, I think his name was Jacob or something like that. God, I hated that guy. You know, the only reason I chose him was because my brother said he's the guy with the like least cringiest lines. And if that was the case, bro, even his lines are just shit and terrible, and I hated it. I hated everybody's dialogue pretty much in the game, and I hated all the characters in the game. There's only like a few characters I even liked, which was the only one I liked was like the hoodoo you voodoo bitch guy, I liked Patton. He's pretty cool. You know, oh, I need to watch Woman to Kill. I really need to watch Woman to Kill. I really like that guy. I forgot her name, but it's the streamer girl. You know, at first I found her annoying, but by the end of the story, when you get the final quest from her, you know, I grew to like her. Very tragic though. But yeah, I was talking about the world, wasn't I? Whatever. I went into the story a little bit, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's kind of described with the graphics, but yeah, the world's fine. You know, it's nice to go around, you know, finding stuff and whatnot, but I don't know. That's kind of part of the graphics. The world is okay, right? It's nothing crazy. I guess we'll just get into the gameplay now. You know, I know, oh, you're speedrunning it, but you know, I'm not. I'm just talking about what I remember. You know, eventually I'll remake these videos and make a better version of it, more highly edited version of it. But for right now, it's whatever. But yeah, so second thing second, um, or not second thing second, but you know, like we'll get to the gameplay. So the gameplay, the base gameplay is mostly pretty fun, but I do wish there was more to do, like skill wise. But yeah, it's mostly pretty fun because I mean, you have a couple things you do. First, well, damn, I was gonna go first things first again. But I mean, firstly, you get, you know, your weapons. You get the different types of weapons. You get like a blunt weapon, you get a sharp weapon, and then you get kind of just like a variant of those. And you know, that's pretty much it. Like, and then you get like sort of heavier weapons and whatnot. So there's like medium, small, heavy. It's pretty much stuff like that. You also got guns, and the guns, they're not really that great most of the time, to be honest, and not as fun to use as just regular melee weapons, pretty much. So even though the guns can be useful sometimes, they're not as fun to use as the melee weapons. And yeah, the melee weapons are just always better, and they're just easier to upgrade because you got like cool stuff to upgrade them with. Pretty much, you got like, you know, stuff like pretty much modifiers for your weapon. Some of which are like you basically get like damage. You know, it's because there's like different types of modifiers. There's like the worst ones, which are basically just trade-offs: more damage but less durability, more durability but less damage, stuff like that. Faster but less damage or something like that. You know, stuff. You know that kind of trade-off. And then you just get ones that are just good, which are just more damage, more speed. You know, like they don't have a trade-off. Then you get really, really good ones, which are the rare ones, which is like you cause bleed when you hit with this, or you do this or that. And then you get like the big modifier, I forgot what to call it, but it's the ones where you put on your weapon and it really changes it up. So where it's like now you have a bat, but now it has like, you know, if you hit somebody with it or you hit a zombie with it, they get on fire or they get electrocuted. Or you have the impact mod. Oh yeah, these are called mods basically. Yeah, you have the impact mod where I don't know, it has a chance to crit and do like an impact. I don't know exactly how that one works. I think if you hit him in the head, it's like, yeah, it's like always an impact. So I don't think it works if you just hit him. So you're pretty sure you have to hit him in the head. But just so there's those mods, that impact mod, and there's like a few others, but some of them are not for every single weapon. So some of them are for only like slicing weapons, like swords, machetes, or knives, daggers, whatever. The ones I remember from that one are like sort of like a slicing mod, basically, or like a poison mod, where like, or not poison, but like acid mod, where like you the more you hurt a zombie, he starts like melting to eventually where they just melt and they're like almost bone and stuff. It's pretty awesome, honestly. It's one of my favorite mods because of how brutal it is, man. You straight up watch them melt in real time. The gore is crazy in this game. It's amazing. I already said that, but it's amazing, man. It's really, really good. So yeah, gameplay wise, yeah, that's pretty much all the weapons I can think of. Then you have like the equipment, basically, where you got like a lot of really interesting, well, not interesting ones, but you got a decent variety. You got like the ninja stars, which you throw 3 ninja stars in like a horizontal arc, and they do a lot of damage. You have like a pipe bomb, you have a sticky bomb, you have whatchamacallit, you have, I forgot what it's called, but it's basically something you throw and then it'll It's like a chemical. I think it's like chemical X or something like that. But if you throw it, you can use it to essentially, like, if there's like fire in the way, right? You can use it to just douse the fire and stuff like that. I don't know what else. I don't know if it actually hurts the zombies, but you can use it to douse fire, basically, and other acid, right? Because there's like goo or acid that sometimes is on the floor, from like either just hazards or from like gas, like not gas tanks, like it's kind of like the, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just stuff. Sometimes there'll just be that type of stuff on the floor, and you can use the chemical bomb to take it away, pretty much. So yeah, if you don't have something like a fire extinguisher around or something, then you just got like an electrical grenade and an incendiary, or maybe it's a Molotov. I think it's probably a Molotov, and some stuff like that. There's not a lot of crazy stuff, but it's fun. You know, it's the equipment's pretty fun, especially because it's not something that you just get, or you know, that you have to keep refilling. You it's basically like you throw it and then it has like a cooldown. And I don't actually know if the cooldown takes longer depending on what you have. Maybe not, maybe, I don't know. But there's clearly some better ones depending on the situation, so I don't know. Then there is the sort of skills you have. I don't remember them all, but well, the ones I do remember are like you can do like a shout. You can do like a ground pound, and I forgot the last one. I really can't remember, but it's nothing crazy. Like those moves are. Oh yeah, you can do like a palm strike. You like dash up to an enemy and you palm strike them. Pretty cool stuff, but nothing crazy. And then there's also like, whatchamacallit, certain moves you can do. Like you can either dodge, block. No, I'm pretty sure that's it. Like you have like two mechanics for that. You can either just dodge attacks or you can block attacks, and then you can parry attacks, obviously, as well. At first, I started off as Jacob. I only had the dodge, but then eventually I switched it for like the parry, because you can unlock pretty much every skill. But the character you start off with, they have like certain skills they start off with, basically. So the one I had started off with that, with dodging, but then I eventually got parrying, and it pretty much saved my life. Parrying, by the way, is the most strongest thing in the game. Get good at parrying. Oh, that was crazy. Get good at parrying though. That goes hard. Yeah, and then well, yeah, and I already mentioned those previous abilities. They help a lot. Like I said, there's like 3 or 4, but I can't remember the other one. Oh yeah, wait, no, I already did it. Yeah, the palm strike, the ground pound, and the scream. Basically, it's just like a shout. And then at halfway through the game, you unlock like zombie beast mode, and from there you basically have like a zombie mode where like you obliterate enemies, but it's very short-lived. Like you're not in there for very long, but you can do some decent damage when you are in there, for sure. And then at some point you get basically perks specifically. They're called like autophage perks or something like that, that specifically pertain to that, and as well as making things a little like they just have more interesting effects, pretty much. So yeah, like really nice ones that make the game a little more interesting. But that's pretty much all I remember gameplay wise. Like yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's all sorts of hazards around that you can use, there that are at your disposal. Like you can get like car battery and throw it at a zombie and boom, he gets electrified. Or there's like puddles of water that you can hit with an electric modded weapon. Same thing with like gas. You can or like oil or whatever the hell you can. Yeah, like oil, you can hit that with like a fire weapon. Boom, stuff like that. Or there's even like fuel cans, and like acid cans or something like that you can pour to make it so that zombies get hurt when walking through it and whatnot. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Now on to the story. This part is the worst part of the game for me. I didn't really care about the story at first, but then I kind of got into it until eventually I tuned out again, because I stopped caring straight up again. I just did not care anymore. And it was just I mean, the story is simple. It's actually kind of intriguing, but the characters just are so annoying to hear talk to me. Like, especially myself. The character I was playing as, Jacob, he had just the shittiest lines, but because I endured it for hours and hours and hours, eventually I got like that one moment that they just bugged me about over and over, bro, where like I open, like, I'm, looking for the next objective, and I open like a garage door. I said like, oh, here it is, and there's a party here too, and they made fun of me for that hard, bro. Still do to this day, because it sounded like something Jacob would say, and I that hurt my soul that I ended up starting to speak like that guy. Oh my god. He's not the worst character. He definitely isn't. He still has a really, really cringe lines, man. Over exaggerated lines. They're just so bad. But they're not the worst. Everyone else is pretty much the worst. Have the worst lines. And I can't stand anybody. Yeah, pretty much anybody. Especially because I don't know the relevance of some of them. Like the main actress or whatever the hell that you're like hopping throughout the whole game. I don't know who she is at all, bro, and I do not care, man. I'm just like, the whole time I'm just like, why do I care? Why do I care? Because I just don't. I just do not care. I don't know her at all. I don't care. It was just, yeah, it was. I just could care less about any of the characters dying at all. Pretty much, the only thing that kept me around was the intriguing story that unfolded pretty much halfway through when you meet like that black doctor guy, and then he has like the whole thing with his daughter. She's like getting rebellious and whatnot, and then by the end of the game you find that whole plot twist. Oh shit, that the virus was basically spread on purpose, so that humans could evolve to the next stage. They would be like Newmans, as what they're called. Pretty funny name, but kind of cool. So they're Newmans, which is what you are. And there's also, I don't know if I definitely forgot to mention, because there's a lot of characters, but one of the plot relevant characters, well, it's actually a group of characters, is these people that are also called the Newmans, and they're basically a group of Newmans just like you. And they just try to they kind of like almost get you killed, but it was so that you could awaken your Newman side, pretty much, because you're also a Newman, I guess, out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere, but yeah. I mean, it's established from the beginning of the game because you don't turn into a zombie. So you basically, survive that encounter, and then you start seeing them around more often. But yeah, so the plot twist is that, Hell on Earth was unleashed in LA because they wanted to, basically, from what he said, the Black Doctor guy, he basically said that humans were going to die out at some point. And so in order to avoid that, he made that virus so that they would evolve into Newmans and the human race would continue, but as a newly evolved species, as known as the Newmans. Basically, that's pretty much what I remember. Anyways, I could be getting it wrong, but yeah. And then he becomes like a zombie boss that you've already seen before. Kind of annoying that he didn't end up becoming like his own zombie boss, which there's not many zombie bosses. In fact, there's really no boss fights. Like, they're there, but they end up just becoming like a regular zombie that you fight, which is not bad or anything, but I kind of like unique bosses, right? Or unique enemies that don't respawn. So yeah, but he becomes a boss. Pretty grotesque transformation, but he's the coolest design in the game. And then you have to fight and kill him, and then his daughter runs off, and you basically, because she's there too, because he explains that also, like, he injected her with like the cure or whatever, something like that. And yeah, so she's like carrying the cure, so that eventually she would, like, I don't know, get the blood from her and then cure people or something like that. I don't remember exactly, because I think, yeah, he basically wanted to do that, and then he wanted to undo it, right? And that's what the Newmans don't want. So yeah, but she runs off, you're left alone, and you basically just go back to like the helicopter that you and Patton, the actress girl, and the Hoodoo You Voodoo guy are waiting, right? Because you basically get there so that you have a way out of LA, and then yeah. So after that whole boss fight and everything, you go there, and the game basically ends right there with you just like with them leaving and you staying there because you want to find the daughter and figure out what the hell is going on. Basically, you want to save the world or whatever the hell. And I was definitely also very angry that it ended there, because I actually got intrigued in the story. You know, very crazy, but yeah, I did get intrigued with the story, and I was really angry that it ended there. But hey, what can you do? Well, nothing really. Well, I think there's a DLC where they continue the story, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I'll ever get that, because I don't know. I have very mixed feelings on this game. So yeah, I'd probably only get the DLC just to see the end of the story. But well, I don't know. You know, that's pretty much the entirety of the game. I mean, there's side quests, characters you can meet. There's like an old actor guy. He's one of the people that I actually liked having around. So he was pretty cool. His especially because, like, I think the reward you get for doing his mission, yeah, is his gun, which is pretty damn good. Then there's, like, I think I mentioned her, but there's like a streamer girl, and she would stream and have you kill zombies in unique ways. I find her cool at first, or not cool, but you know, kind of funny. And then I found her annoying when we were at the carnival, and she was making us do stuff at the carnival, especially because we got stuck on one particular streaming segment where we had to kill zombies with lightning and whatever, but we didn't have any lightning weapons. It was annoying, but that was on us. And then by the end of the game, she has a surprisingly tragic end where she gets bit because she was trying to do something. She was trying to record a video, and then she talks to you, has you do one last stream video or whatever the hell, and then maybe not stream, but she has you do one last video, and then you find out that she got bit and she turns, and so then you have to kill her, and that makes it a lot less tragic because we just kind of bodied her, gave her a couple drop kicks and whatnot. But then after that, you find her last video that she was gonna send to you, and it is pretty sad, you know, because she apologizes for, you know, using you, and she genuinely liked being around you and whatnot. All right, so here I was actually wrong about what happened here. Now, I didn't look it up. I know I could probably just look it up, but I'm going off of memory here, okay? Screw you guys. Anyways, so what she does what she says in the video to you is that she's basically sorry that she got bit and that she can't record any more videos with you. That's pretty much what she says, you know, and that she really did consider you, like, you know, her bestie, because I didn't mention it, but she calls you bestie all the time, pretty much. So yeah, that made it pretty sad. It made it pretty sad that she regretted that, you know, she basically, you know, got herself killed for a video, and that she wasn't going to be able to hang around with you anymore and force you to make videos, because that's kind of what she says. I mean, you could leave at any moment, but you know, she kind of like tricks you to do it, which, you know, it's completely on you, you know, obviously, like, or, you know, if you think in universe, you could just stop. She's not like holding you at gunpoint, you know, you could just stop. But yeah, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. And I'll just I gotta keep the video going though. And yeah, it was it hit, man. It hit pretty hard. That might be the only thing I put in the video, to be honest, because that one hit pretty hard. And that one's not going to be hard to find because I have a sea of videos from, you know, me recording Dead Island 2. I don't know, we'll see. Either way, yeah, that's pretty much the last thing I can think of. Overall, man, I'm not going to give this game a number. It's hard. But I mean, I guess if I could, I'd give it like a 7. You know, because it's not bad. It's good, but it's not great. It's good, but it's not great. Especially because I don't really like most of the characters. I only like a few, really. There's a decent amount of characters in here. Some of them you don't really interact with that often, but yeah, it's an interesting game for sure. If you ask me, should you give it a try? Yeah, but with friends. You know, I don't think you should give it a try on your own. The gameplay would definitely get boring. But if you wanted to give it a try, definitely with your pals, group of buddies, you know, and then it should be pretty fun then. I think it's only like 3 players though, but I can't remember. Either way, that's pretty much, yeah. I mean, there's a side mode which is like a survival mode, but not really. It's more like you do objectives and then you leave. And we tried that, but for some reason, that was just broken to all hell. I have no idea what happened there, bro. It was super broken. Like that side mode was just unplayable, like legitimately unplayable. I have no idea why that happened. The whole game had no issues. That side mode could not play it. We could only get one round done, and then after that round was done, my brother was like stuck in a void in the main hub. So yeah, that was wild. But aside from that, man, that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's a good game, but it's one I wouldn't play alone for sure. And yeah, so yeah, man, with all that said, I hope you guys have a good day. And you like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more of these, reviews. I'll try and do as much as I can, as often as I can, and, in a better fashion. But you already know what I gotta do to do that, right? Or get to do that. Either like an editor, which I would not know where to find one. But yeah, either I would have to get an editor or I would have to blow up. Kind of like, well, you wouldn't get the reference, never mind. But we'll see. Either way, one day I will become a 1 trillion subscriber YouTuber. Not 1 trillion, but like one day I'll reach the point where this will be my career, and it's going to be awesome. But until that day comes, man, like, well, even when that day comes, but like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and yeah, man, I'll see you guys later, and I hope you guys have a good day, and yeah, see you next video.